Welcome back to the Void Compass. Today, I want to delve deeper into emotional transmutation. This will be emotional transmutation part 2. I get a multitude of questions about how to actually do this work. How do you actually come in to inner union? How do you get to a space where peace is your default setting? Where love is always available to you, where you are able to meet all of your own needs without needing anything in the outside world. Is that a myth? Can it actually be reached? Is it just pleasant words? The answer is yes, it can be reached. But your internal state of being needs to become a safe place for soul to reside. The only thing blocking that from happening is the vast amount of emotional material that remains unresolved within your field. So this is what we're going to tackle. Throughout life, you start out, I'm going to give you an analogy here. You start out as this luminous soul stream as you come into this experience. This beautiful flowing river, luminous, filled with light, powerful, complete. And throughout different life experiences that occur to you in the early stages of your life, parts of this stream fracture off from the main river. They start becoming isolated. They start losing their luminosity. It's an experience of being unwanted as a child, or undeserving of love, or not being good enough. And fracture after fracture, experience after experience. The soul stream dwindles. And all these fractured elements of you lose luminosity. And feel that longing and pain to return back to that sense of completeness that they know is the truth. And that's how trauma occurs. And you carry that with you throughout your entire childhood, teenagehood, and then adult life. And those traumas get triggered through a multitude of situations. Remember this one thing. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Life will always, always, always put you in positions, situations, and circumstances and interactions that will force you to admit how you are actually feeling. That is why, based on your life theme, you will see a repeating pattern, even in adulthood, of a pattern that feels so old and familiar to you. Here we are again. I'm being rejected once more. The faces change, the masks change, and life keeps shifting around the pieces on the board to guide you right back to the same conclusion. This is how you feel. Admit it. Admit it. Own it. It is active in your energy field. It is still active. It is still active. It is still active. It is not doing this to torture you. It is doing this to make you aware that there are these fractured parts of the initial soul river, the soul stream, that have come off and are still not being reintegrated back into the fold. So this is what emotional transmutation is about. We are attempting, quite successfully, might I add, to, through the vibration of unconditional love, bring those elements of ourselves that were previously fractured back into that fold. This is why it is so important. If you are seeing the reflection in the outside world of these themes over and over and over again, that is the clear indicator that yes, that is still active in your field and needs to be reintegrated lovingly. without judgment. And the issue is, we have learned over a lifetime that this is not important. Everything pulls us away from doing this work. Everything is there to distract us, to pull our focus away from the inner world where actual peace and love, self-contained love, exist as a birthright. So you grab your phone and you watch a series, you call a friend and you eat nice food, and you play a video game, and you indulge in copious amounts of sexual relations, whatever works for you, to numb that pain that is constantly circulating within your field. And you're doing so well with all of the status quo until life brings out the big guns, the twin flame awakening journey. Your very best friend. And it puts its foot down sternly on the accelerator pedal and says, no, it is time to deal with this now. There's no more waiting, there's no more avoiding. So it brings you the person which you believe at that point in time is going to be the ultimate romantic endeavor. And it works for a couple of weeks. Everyone's experience is different, by the way. If you haven't had that bubble love phase, don't worry about it. Every situation is different. I don't want you standing there doubting your journey because it didn't look exactly like so-and-so person said. The soul always has a specific way that it wants to awaken, so I don't want you to place stock in that. But you're on this journey. You experience that separation, and all of a sudden, everything that was active in your field that you were not acknowledging is now forced up to the surface of your consciousness. You become hyper aware of it, hypersensitized to that pain, and it feels like hell. Don't believe me? Ask anyone. Ask anyone who's on this journey. Tell me how that was for you. Look at their faces. You get your answer very, very quickly. Why? Because you're being confronted in the most intense way, in the most immediate way, with all of your pain. And it's savage. And it's like that by design, because when it occurs in that manner, you simply cannot avoid it. Because you will simply cease to function if you try to avoid it. So you seek deeper answers. You jump online, you start checking videos. You run into conflicting pieces of advice and you start losing your way, trying to find a way to numb the pain or to at least get a promise of when is said person coming back so the pain can stop. And of course, that never works because that question is born of mind, and this connection only can exist in the fullness of soul, which you cannot reach if you are not in your body. Do you see why emotional transmutation is so important? Is it a catchy title? Is it your twin flames arms and why they are the safest thing in the world? Is that the title of this video? No. It's emotional transmutation. It's the actual work when you're done wasting your time attempting through mind to get your person back and making it a relationship situation. When you're done with that and you want to delve deep, you land here. And that's what we do here. I bring you back into soul. So I want to go into the process here because I get questions about it all the time. I love the sound of that. Reintegrate the fractured parts of myself? Yes. Say less. I want that yesterday. How do I do that? I'm going to take you through the process. Intimately. I want you to feel it. I want you to see it. And I want you to realize that this is going to be your practice. This is something that you are going to do. This is not a one and done deal. This is something you will repeat throughout the day, consistently, whenever the need arises. That's how you will develop a consistent, loving, trust with yourself. Remember, the fractured parts of you have been ignored for so long. You need to develop that trust with them once more. They need to be comfortable to come up once more and tell you how they are feeling, to share their secrets. Nothing but pure unconditional love, holding that beautiful space for them. That lack of judgment and that consistency, nothing but that will do. So, you're on this journey or you're not. The process is the same. But let's say you are. As many of the viewers of my channel are. You experience a trigger. You're still early on in the journey. You're still feeling the pangs of grief, the sharp, merciless pains when you hear their name mentioned. Even seeing a friend of theirs somewhere on the street creates a feeling of deep anxiety within you and a sense of loss. I want you to stop. I want you to breathe into it. I want you to sit with the trigger, whatever it is. You're scrolling through social media and you see their picture. Feel that sharp pain grab you by the belly, or the sacral chakra, or your heart, wherever your core wound pains are. Let's say it's in your solar plexus. Are you going to run from it? Are you going to focus on them and what went wrong? No, not this time. We're here to work. Remember, life is only ever putting you in those situations and giving you those synchronicities to get you to do what I'm about to tell you. So you sit and you breathe into it. You feel that discomfort. You start breathing deep into it, and you notice your mind starts to try to pull you out. No, I don't want to see this. I don't want to feel this. Stop. This isn't working. Leave me be. Grab your phone. Stay calm. Breathe in to that part of your body that's feeling that pain. Relax the muscles. Let the shoulders fall. Breathe into it, and now the pain is rising very quickly. What does it feel like? It feels crushing. It feels like pressure in your solar plexus. Like it's trapped in a vice. Somebody's squeezing. What pain is it? What thoughts arise? Maybe a thought like, I'm never going to see them again. Never. And I've lost the love of my life. Even if it's not empirically true, entertain it. That's mind speaking to you. Ask it how it's feeling. And it will tell you, I feel the deepest grief. I feel a grief so deep I would rather not even be here in this experience. And as it admits that to you, the emotion rises up and out. It explodes out of you. You keel over and you start grieving. A deep, painful grief. This is not crying. This is grieving. It bursts out of you. And here's the difference. And I've said this before. You are not just the experiencer of the grief this time. You are the loving soul parent, the embodiment of the energetic divine masculine that is now holding the space for the one who is grieving, for the mind and body that are grieving. In this time, you are not the mind and body. The mind and body are grieving through the safe container and space that you are creating for the mind and body to feel safe enough to release this grief. You're holding yourself. You're saying, while the grief is happening, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here with you. I understand you and I love you just the way you are. Keep telling me how you're feeling. I'm here for you. Why is this important? Why is this level of conscious comforting so important? You know why? Because the vibrational frequency of grief is so low down on the scale of consciousness. It's so dense. It's heavy. Whereas the frequency of your unconditional love that you are embodying the sole observer, the sole parent. That is so high up on that scale. Unconditional love is so high up that it has the power, as the light that it is, to come and shine in on the darkness that is grief and to set it free. So you're not regurgitating the experience of grief. You are transmuting it up and out of your field. And once you do this enough, then grief and that pain will not be active in your field, creating space for more love and soul to reside. This is how transmutation works. So you're still holding yourself. The grief, which may have lasted 5, 6, 7 minutes of continuous grieving, bouts of starting and stopping, and eventually it pauses. In you as the sole observer, thank that part of you. You say, thank you. Thank you for sharing your grief with me. Thank you for telling me how you really feel. I haven't listened to you in so long. I haven't loved you unconditionally the way you needed. And the way you did not receive back in the day when this fracture first occurred. However it was caused. Sometimes a memory can surface with it. Sometimes a memory won't. That's okay. The state of being is still here present with you. So you hold it and you love it. And you thank it. That's how you develop trust with your inner children. And you say, it's okay, it's time for you to come home. Come back to the rest of the soul stream where you belong. Where you can reconnect to that beautiful luminosity, that feeling of connectedness that you have sought your entire life. And because you've been in mind and you didn't know any better, you went seeking it in outside people. You were so sure that love was contained in another. That's what everybody told you. That's what the movies told you. But it's not the truth. Love is a state of being that's fostered within only. And your twin will always reflect that to you. Whenever you are attempting to seek that love from them, by definition, they will be unable to give it to you because you are a closed system. Remember the infinity loop that I've spoken about. Physical reality, or I should say non-physical reality, in spirit. And then you come down into physical duality. You're two separate bodies, ostensibly, but you're still the same closed system, flowing constantly into one another. Whatever is active in your field is active in theirs. They can only reflect that back to you because you're one and the same. This is why this is so important. And this is why I get asked about this so often. Why is it so difficult for mind to pull you up and out of soul? Why is it so difficult to sit in your body and feel your soul? You know why it's so easy for mind to pull you up and out? Because there's so much painful material that still resides within your field. And it gets your attention so quickly. So mind says, do you feel that? Cool, I have the solution. Get that person. It's going to make you feel better. But you are not the mind. You are soul, and this is a journey into soul. This is what inner union is, bringing all the fractured parts of yourself together. Embodying not only the divine feminine, the emotional, intuitive, caring, but the divine masculine, the space holder, the discipline, the protection, the purpose. You're bringing those into balance within you. Then it becomes a safe place for you to sit in your body, where previously all you felt was pain surfacing. Suddenly you're able to breathe into the depths, to sink so deep underneath the waves at the surface, and to see mind for what it is. As you just sit suspended in the deepest, most vast waters of the soul. It's truly a beautiful place to be, because from that space you'll realize you are already love, and it is not contained in another. And what you felt as a reflection was only a reflection of the love that was always contained within you. You got a taste. What a comfort then it is to know that this already exists within you. Nobody holds the gate key to that state of love. Nobody. It's yours. If you will but feel it. If you will but do the work. Be brave enough to love the parts of you in a way that they have never been loved before. Now, I give as much as I can practicalities to this process. If you want me to take a personal look at your journey, if you want me to walk you through this process, if you want to share with me where you are stuck, join me in a one-to-one session. The links are in my description of this video. All the information is there. Reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you. I'm going to leave it there, but I will see you next time on The Void Compass with more.